exciting though, isn't it? Mission Impossible. Huh?
I got to sit through 2 minutes 45 now of this fucking thing going.
We don't fancy sitting through the intro.
Oh, I'm gonna sit through.
I don't even think anyone's listening anyway. Anyway, fuck it. Right, fuck that.
It's too sunny.
Fuck that. Oh shit! How do I get everyone in? There we go. Right. So, are we live?
We're live.
We're definitely live, yeah.
It looks like we're live.
No,
good evening.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, we are live. Right. So this was the idea behind this was we was going to have a talk about the online harms bill and the implications of what enacting it might mean. Basically, it was going to be an open panel as well for anyone else apart from Welshie that wanted to get involved. Because Welshie's an absolute fucking troll and he will get your stream taken off the internet, mate. Like 5 minutes after fucking coming on it. No, but in all seriousness, I suppose we fucking let Welshie join, I suppose. Right. One sec. Right, so takeaways. What have you found out then, Alex?
Well, should we just like go over
Do you want to read it word for word?
No, just a bit of an outline of like what the bills are and what they cover and stuff, and what we're going to look at.
Well, what do you mean? So you want to
So
read
what
the bill says?
Just tell the people what the bill is. They don't even know what the fucking thing is yet, do they? We haven't explained anything to them. It's the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Act 2022. We're going to
that one is that?
We're also going to talk about the upcoming, which is at the stage currently of being. It's at the committee stage in the Lords, House of Lords. It's the new bill.
That's the really scary one.
Which is now called the Online Safety Bill. I'd say they're both pretty
Online
scary
Harms
bills.
Bill, isn't it?
It used to be called the Online Harms Bill, I believe, earlier. They now call it the Online Safety Bill. They wanted to make it sound more friendly.
Right. So, and what else? We had something else from there.
Well, I mean, there's the Rockefeller Foundation document it relates to in an overarching way somehow. But in terms of the main couple of bills, those were the ones. Because the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Act, that puts a lot of restrictions on protesting. That makes a lot of restrictions on people doing any sort of like, meeting up, communicating, activism, whatever you want to call it, in the real world. On the other hand, the Online Safety Bill is going to basically attempt to control any and all forms of communication online, any sort of information spreading, any sort of communication, public and private.
I think that's the key thing.
I think that's little fingers.
I think the key thing to take away from that, from what I read from that, is the fact that if you are sending a private peer-to-peer message on an app or on a web app on the phone, whatever it may be, if you're sending a private message to someone else, but the app you're using to send the message has the functionality to be shared to a group of people, then that information you shared counts as being able to, and if they decide that it's illegal, then you're fucked, basically.
So, yeah, there's a few like sort of citizens' rights groups, that kind of things, talking about it, because there's some briefing thing that they did. It's the Open Rights Group. And they say one particular concern relates to the requirement to prevent users from seeing or engaging with illegal content. In this context, algorithmic screening will be carried out prior to the content being uploaded. Put simply, as the user begins to upload their content, the system would sweep in and check it out and potentially remove it before it's been communicated. This is a modern 21st century form of prior restraint. With regard to online speech, it means banning speech, text, images, or videos before being published or posted. The overall outcome would have a chilling effect on public debate. Now, let me just give you this point to consider for a second, yeah? When you've made a video of the sky and put it up without any comments, yeah, it's got a warning about chemtrails on it, yeah?
Within 10 minutes. That's
Within
like
10 minutes.
before
So
you
not,
even published it, whilst it's live.
yeah,
Whilst
yeah.
it's live within 10
Whilst it's
minutes.
live. So they're already doing that. They're just trying to put it into law so they can do it more openly, basically, and do it without worrying about it coming out in a big scandal that they've been, reading everyone's, whether they're reading it, whether they're snapping metadata from it. That they are monitoring all communications as well as interfering in it as well. And then this bill is going to put it into law. So they'll actually be then able to start legally kicking people's doors in for things that they say online.
Which isn't a joke. Like they're actively going around nicking people at the minute for resharing Sky broadcasts, like peer to peer. Like what's the word? Not peer to peer. Fucking. Basically, it goes like this. If there's a couple of working class people nicking from big multinationals, they're gonna come kick their door through. But if the fucking politicians are siphoning thousands and hundreds of thousands of pounds for moats and fucking barbecues and the rest of it, they ain't gonna say shit. And that's where we're at.
We're in an anarcho-tyranny, aren't we? Because they use certain sections of the population to enact chaos on other parts of the population, and they don't enforce against certain people, like if you're very rich or if you're just causing fucking chaos in society, and then they use like crimes of procedure to basically to fuck your average man and woman. This is just making so. I think the combination between these two acts is like one of the scariest impositions on like freedom of speech, freedom of public assembly, freedom of expression ever, basically, in this country.
It's a scary, scary old time. That's why I put a message in the old group chat earlier on. I was saying when that gets enacted, this chat will not be like running how it has been. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you literally won't be able to, will you?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't. Like people want to run their mouth saying whatever they want. It's their business. Yeah, I don't give a fuck for that. But as if my name's attached to something and there's change in the fucking law, bruv, you best believe there'll be moderation or I'm deleting it. One or two.
The hammer's coming down. It's going to be like Reddit around here from now on.
Literally, bruv. No fucking about, bruv. No merchant fucking like anything, bruv. It's because that's where we're at, boys. That's the simple matter of fact. You ain't going to be able to share no fucking pictures with your mates or no merchants taking the piss and that, mate, because they're going to. Because you know how sensitive they are.
I mean, they're already nicking people for stuff like that, but I think this is just going to make it much more wide ranging. I mean, there was the other thing that tied into this, wasn't it? Every area around the UK seems to be hiring digital investigative officers for the police.
Oh yeah, that's bring that up. Put that on the screen. Look, fucking. I just want to address this. Is it self-censorship or is it not? You're being censored, else you're going to fucking prison. Like, is that self-censorship or you're not being censored? I don't know what that is. Because you say it, you go to prison. So,
well, this is the strange thing, isn't it? Because there was like in one part of that act, there's a thing about powers to interview. So sorry, I'm just trying to look this up as well. Yeah, so the power to interview and stuff like that. So they definitely intend to use the police, to enforce this to some degree. It's not just going to be Ofcom.
No, obviously they're going to use the police to enforce it, else they wouldn't be fucking employing digital fucking investigative officers up and down the country.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, just look on Indeed, basically. I can't be asked if I can bring that all up at the moment as well. There's actually quite a lot of mad shit on there. There's MI5 recruiting if anyone, fancies transfer.
Fuck's sake, I'll get it up. Where is it? It was in the conversation we had.
Dedicated source handler for counter-terrorism police in South East. 34 grand a year, mate.
I got to bring up the Zinc thing, though. That's the other one.
Zinc. Okay, right. So that's a good one. Yeah.
That's the other thing I'm trying to think of.
So while they're trying to restrict what people say and do online, in the meantime, they're also funding groups like Zinc network and working with groups like Zinc network. I mean, I don't know the exact structure of who feeds who here. You really basically just need to take one look at the list of clients and partners, which include the Home Office, the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, the Department for Education, the Department of Health, the Ministry of Justice, Department of State for America, African Union, European Commission, Department of Defence, the Democracy Council, World Health Organization, NATO, Office of the E-Safety Commissioner for the Australian Government and the Australian Government in general, New South Wales Government. You've got the NSPCC, so children's charity on there. Funny, because I remember one of the directors from the NSPCC was in Epstein's Black Book, one of their names. London School of Economics and Political Science, King's College London. Oh, the Rockefeller Foundation.
Oh, you're supposed to save the best till last.
So these cunts, Zinc Network, what do? What is their work? Well, they are promoting information integrity and media freedom, apparently. I don't know if you want to bring this up on the screen, Jim, the Zinc Network webpage.
Where's that noise coming from?
Which noise? They're tapping us.
What? Oh, I know what that is.
It's just you wheezing. So yeah, they're helping governments and charities around the world to build resilience to violence and extremism. They amplify the voices of civil society groups and positive influencers, building up their skills and championing their creative ideas. We also work with governments to deliver education campaigns, helping parents and teachers spot the signs of radicalization. Yep, that's right. They teach your teachers of your children how to spy on your children and see terrorism in every little 10-year-old child. They've got a nice article here about how the far right hijacked coronavirus crisis to push their agenda and boost support. Where they praise Extinction Rebellion and say that they were decent, and far right organisations were trying to smear them by promoting fake like leaflets that drops, example, saying corona is the cure, humans are the disease. So they're pro XR. They're basically a what do you call it? A PsyOps company.
Team, yeah.
They're a PsyOps company, basically, aren't they? They influence behaviour. They influence opinion. They're basically just a bunch of glowies.
But they're trying to make out like they're a think tank, aren't they? That's what
they're trying to make out like they just help people and amplify good, positive voices. You can guarantee if they're trying to amplify, positive voices, they'll be trying to turn down any what they perceive as negative voices and trying to hide them and stop them from making any impact.
That's how you decipher the dialectic.
So they're already controlling people's speech on these platforms. I'm assuming that they're thinking, if we can do it at source, with AI and put it into law and stuff, that will make it easier than working with all these third-party contractors that we set up.
It's just all the fucking leftist fucking language, man.
There's a 2021 report on their site, an ethics report.
Building resilience too, and trying to solve the world's most challenging social issues comes with a unique set of ethical challenges. We take seriously our responsibility to act with integrity and the greatest possible transparency. Yeah, okay.
How do our systems and processes adapt to delivering programmatic interventions in a climate of war? How do we create interventions without compromising the security and safety of Zinc staff and clients? Like, how do we keep psyoping the people without them spurging out and killing us with an axe?
Yeah.
These people know. They know. They literally know.
Respecting privacy when researching human behavior. How? You can't. You literally. That's again. It's just all that talk.
Oppositional ideas, really, aren't they? It's like we want to look into every single aspect of human behavior and bits of people's private life at the same time as respecting their privacy.
Talking shit, mate. They're lying. Unlimited funds and we are skint. All right, Tone. Cheers, mate.
Oh god, I wonder what that film was like. One project I reviewed was Zinc's behaviour change campaign for UK-based NGO the Internet Watch Foundation, seeking to tackle the increasing issue of online child sexual grooming. Well, at least they acknowledge it's increasing. Probably not in the way that they mean.
Yeah, no, they're talking about right-wing kids like Barkley Walsh being groomed.
This area of work included.
You're close to home, that one.
This area of work included creating a hard-hitting, short, dramatised film warning how children are being sexually groomed online. Well, I mean, you've created a few hard-hitting films, short films about how children are being groomed online.
Well, listen to this then. We only work with clients, partners, and influencers who want to deal with problems effectively and who support our core values of democracy, free speech, and tolerance. Well,
yeah, well, I mean, you can ignore the last bit. Basically, they'll only work with people who spout the fucking same globalist control lines as them.
Of course. When creating or co-creating content, we enforce strict accuracy guidelines. Advancing democratic values. What you mean is force feeding your fucking ideology on people. We are dedicated to advancing free speech, democracy, and non-discrimination values that corrupt and repressive actors consider threats.
I've just got to point out the Globo Homo art style on these pictures. Like,
man,
like it's just so predictable, isn't it? Like
all the diabetics.
Well, it's the Globo Homo art style is very particular. It's these misshapen, dysmorphic, horrible shaped people that look ugly. It's a postmodern deconstruction of art, and they use it in all of these Globo Homo things. It's just it's Globo Homo art. That's what it is.
It's fucking rancid, is what it is.
It is. It's extremely ugly to look at.
What's it called? They're pods straight out the 15-minute cities, aren't they?
Yeah, mate. They're pod people. This is demoralization.
Pod people. That's why they're that shape.
They should have just like done them with like eating bowls of bugs happily and stuff. You know, we're going to get to that stage, aren't we? Like, I shouldn't even say that because I know we're going to get to that stage at some point.
I should just enjoy the freedom we have whilst it lasts.
Enjoy it while it lasts, boys. There's nothing you can do. Just get on the trains.
Get on the train. No, don't get on the trains. Don't ever get on the train.
Never get on the train.
If it gets to that stage, you need to fucking do something about it, mate.
Read the Gulag Archipelago anyway.
I've got it up. I've literally got it up on my screen now. I was doing something.
Well, Gulag Archipelago, have you? That's funny.
I've actually got it from fucking Internet Archive, mate.
Yeah, well, there's some base points that he makes in there, basically about like how you don't want to wait till it gets to that point. When they're at that point, they're in the gulags. He's saying, "Fuck! I wish we would have like taken them officers out when they come to like arrest us for nothing."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If only we'd have stood up, like it's yeah.
But this is what I mean. They're gonna come snatch everyone when the power goes out. The power's gonna go out for like a week or so, and then they're gonna come and snatch everyone.
Do you reckon proper black bag get van style?
Yeah, literally like and then big fucking Humvees that Alex Jones has got all blacked out like SWAT, bruv. And saying you can't.
They're coming to FEMA camps. They're gonna put us in a FEMA camp, Jim. Literally. That's what they're gonna do.
Literally.
Yeah, fucking FEMA coffins, mate.
You seen them though, like fucking big plastic.
I remember that from 10, 15 years ago.
That's when Dr. Greer was still talking about FEMA camps and chemtrails, mate. Now he's talking about aliens and fucking what's it called? Fucking remote viewing and shit.
Thus proving that everyone should unsubscribe if you ever hit 100,000 subs. You'll be compromised, boys. You'll be compromised.
100%. Yeah.
So, I mean, duties about complaints procedures. I mean, this is the thing we were looking at as well, isn't it? Complaints by users and affected persons about search content which they consider that is not complying with the duties set out in the Act. So when we looked into what affected persons counted as, affected persons could be people other than the service user in question who is in the UK, who is A, the subject of content, or B, a member of a class or group of people with a certain characteristic targeted by the content.
So they don't even have to see the content to be offended by it.
You don't even have to see the content to bring a claim against it for being, offended in the way that this act sets out. It's a real mess. This act.
Surely you're just being oversensitive to what it's all saying. Surely that can't be right.
I mean, it does seem a bit overreaching, doesn't it? The fact that they'd want to literally be able to read people's scan people's private messages en masse. It does seem a little bit overreaching, doesn't it?
A little bit. It's a little bit.
I mean, some of the things, I don't even know how they're workable at the moment, unless they backdoor all the messaging services, which they probably already have.
Well, like, for instance, Telegram's fucking run by the WEF.
It's Klaus Schwab's personal messaging service.
And then fucking WhatsApp, where all the boomers
WhatsApp's
use.
Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's
but
what I mean.
WhatsApp's fucking mad. Did you see a thing recently? I don't know if I sent you it, but there was a bit. Oh yeah, I did. I said it was a mental outlaw video. It was regarding metadata, not just metadata Snapchat, because I said for fucking years that they were doing this, but like it's scanning for metadata. So when it picks up a certain thing, your phone starts recording you. So they had all these logs where WhatsApp was transferring data and sending data to servers during the middle of the night, like while people were asleep. And they like making noises, moving in their sleep and things like that. And WhatsApp's like recording little segments and sending it back to its servers.
They're such dirty fucking slags, aren't they?
Yeah, we've known this shit goes on for years, because how many people chat, like how many of you have fucking been talking about something,
and then you get an advert for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get any adverts, I've got loads of ad blockers coming out my arse, but yeah, that happens to people, doesn't it? That happens all the time now, from what I hear.
All the time. They're dirty slags, mate.
So what I'm saying essentially is Uncle Ted was right.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. What it all comes down to.
There's obvious fucking drawbacks to technology, and it's just the state that we've got to, isn't it? Where people, we live in this culture, especially Britain, where they have to legislate absolutely every single fucking part of human behaviour and interaction.
That's thanks to Tony Blair. Weren't that bad until Tony Blair. It was at like 400, 300 new laws a year.
And then he brought in like 6,000 new laws during the time he was in.
Yeah. That's
it was like 6,000 or something.
No, that is about right. It was about 1,700. Yeah, it was about 1,700 a year by the end of it.
Fucking hell, man. So that shows you then, like, again, Tony Blair, what was he? Massive neoliberal.
Right.
So it's just a globalist, So
right.
That's when they started kicking up some of this shit into high gear, I suppose, isn't it?
What, letting fucking free movement of the EU and the rest of it, like?
Yeah, I mean, we got free movement in the.
Yeah, there's a question for you, Alex.
There's a question for me. What's the question?
Says, why have you got him on screen, you twat? Show a bit of respect for the dead girl.
I am, by promoting the idea that the police are not to be trusted and they're violent psychopaths.
DAC Stuart Cundy said Wayne Couzens brings shame on all Met police officers.
Yeah, kind of like when they denied that that guy in the Spy Cop scandal was actually working for them.
The one that bred with them. The one
that was knocking up lefty like environment protesters and stuff.
Mate, it's not just that. Did you see the fella the other day? Mohammed something. Anyway, he was a Met officer and he was nicking people's bank cards, dead people's bank cards, and spending money on their cards.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah, I didn't look into it. I did hear about that.
No, I'm not going on Sunday.
It's completely corrupt. The thing is, if you've got a completely corrupt system that relies on violent coercive control of people, it's not really a surprise that the people who work within and support that system are going to end up being, violent control types. It's literally what society promotes, isn't it? In the entire.
Well, if you want to be able to make decisions that's going to make money, but you're going to have to be able to be stern when you're making decisions and not wait. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got
So
to
you
be.
mean if you want to fuck people over, you got to have the guns to back it up?
Well, they do, but no, that weren't what I was trying to say. I was trying to say, like, just that them positions breed a sort of a special sort of cunt, don't they? There's
Yeah.
cunts that sort of strive to be that way.
Yeah, well, I mean that's clear.
Psychopaths.
And the problem is these sort of laws are just bringing in fucking more and more power and less ability to actually fight back against this stuff. This is the key takeaway here. Yeah, there's going to come a point very, very soon where you're not even allowed to talk about this sort of thing. That's the direction that we're going.
Yeah. It will be like it'll be. I can imagine it'll be something a little bit like this, that whereby you're not allowed to give legal advice if you're not a member of the bar, and like any way that people construe or interpret these laws and legislations, it will be fucking interpreted as legal advice, and then therefore it's dangerous misinformation to be doing, and then we'll get nicked for doing it.
Yep. Well, I mean, we know the courts and the judges and all that are completely corrupt and captured anyway, don't we?
Complicit.
For example, the one we were talking about the other day with that Claire Page, the lady who is trying to get the sex education slides shown in the lessons to her kids. She's trying to get them released so that the public can see them, to see what the children are being taught in these sex education lessons.
She's being told that it
by
goes
fetish
copyright.
masters.
Yeah,
she's
right.
being told it goes against copyright, and the judges are agreeing that the commercial interests of someone who is a self-described fetish master who has links to hardcore porn accessible from the website that they have as a front for teaching children.
Yes, outweighs.
Yeah, that person's rights to make money off of grooming children, that outweighs the public interest. So that was the same judge that wanted to keep the Mountbatten diaries, or kept the Mountbatten diaries sealed.
That's very relevant. That is, like, nonces protect nonces, and that's the thing.
Exactly. You can tell the actions, like, and I mean, it's like Keir Starmer protecting fucking Jimmy Savile and that, isn't it?
Oh yes,
they're all like it.
Well, are they not?
I would say so. Just on the weight of the evidence.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's not a massive fucking leap, is it? To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to enforce a lot of this stuff, because it's an extreme.
Well, we've just looked. They're employing officers up and down the country. They're going to enforce it. They're going to enforce it by sifting. I thought there'd be some sort of AI, but it looks like they're literally.
There will be AI as well. They'll also be like human and stuff. But I think, I think they're going to get a lot of stuff wrong. Like, so, for example, King's coronation. They nicked all them protesters using the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Act 2022. Using the anti-protest
right.
So they nick all these people on the day, keeps them off the streets. They release them, go, oh, sorry, we misinterpreted the new laws. Nothing ever happens, but they got their objective done. They got them off the streets that day.
Right.
Same goes.
They will be getting actioned against as a result of that, because all them fuckers that they nicked were all middle class twats anyway.
Yeah, but they might be. But what does it matter anyway? Like, you complete your objective for the psyops and the optics and all shit on the day, and then you pay out a bit of light money from the public fucking purse anyway down the line. It's not like anyone specific's going to actually get any comeback for it, is there? It's like, worst comes to worst, after years and years of litigation and shit, they pay out a couple of $100,000 or not even that to someone.
Well, no, it ain't going to be that much. It ain't going to be that much.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
That'd be the
I hear,
worst,
I hear
worst,
what you're
worst
saying. I
case.
hear what you're saying. It's not much of a deterrent for them to do anything, for them not to
No, and
do
this
what
is
they're
a
doing.
261-page bill.
Yeah, right.
261 pages of this fucking absolute nonsense, yeah. And so, I mean, I'm sure all police are going to be great at fucking, enforcing this. They're going to have to do a large amount of it by AI. They're going to have to.
Well, you think so?
I mean, it's just, there's just so many aspects to it that I don't think it's necessarily enforceable.
This is about providers, duties of care, legal content, risk assessment duties.
Content communicated publicly or privately.
Yeah,
The
that's
factors
the
are-
bit. That's the
yeah.
bit. That's the bit I was talking
So,
about. Well done.
the
Well done.
factors are the number of individuals in the United Kingdom who are able to access the content by means of the service, any restrictions on who may access the content by means of the service, for example, a requirement for approval or permission from a user or the provider of the service, the ease of which the content may be forwarded to or shared with users of the service other than those who originally encounter it. Yeah. So any message service that has a forwarding function, which is
I told you. This is what I've been fucking saying. That's what I've been saying, bro.
yeah, man. I fully agree. It's fucking
It's fucking gnarly, bro. That's fucking gnarly. I've been saying this since I read that the other day. I've been saying this. I've been trying to get my fucking nut around it. So that's legit what I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
and get this as well. Sorry.
Go on.
The following factors do not count as restrictions on access. A requirement to log in or register with a service or part of a service. So if it's private and needs to log in, still under it, yeah? A requirement to make a payment or to take out a subscription in order to access a service or part of a service or access particular content. You do a subscription-based service, yeah, making whatever videos for people
You're
who
still
want to
not allowed to
subscribe
say
to
what you want.
private
You're
content
still,
that no one else is
you're still not allowed.
Still going to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like,
so that don't matter. That literally doesn't matter if you go, so to speak, off the digital grid. If you went away from things like if you tried to get involved in Web3 and you built some other platform, even if you was doing your own thing on your own platform, they could still come and get you.
Yep, and that goes even further because it counts as well under the things that don't count as restrictions on access, inability to access a service or part of a service, or blah blah blah. Except by using a particular technology or a particular kind of device, right? So even if you fucking got some like obscure shit and you're running it like you say on some completely different network that people can't generally get onto, you're still going to try and control what you say.
Still fucked. It's all fucked. It's all fucked, boys. It was fun whilst it lasted, but now the overlords have said no. Do you know why? Because some mad shit's going to start happening, mate, and they don't want the transfer of information going as fast as it was.
Yeah, I reckon so. I reckon so. I mean, they saw what happened during COVID. They, as we could see from that Zinc group, they spurg out like hell about people actually talking, sharing information online.
Yes, call them fucking terrorists and that, mate.
Yeah. Like you say, hey guys, look at this interesting official document that I found that suggests the government's up to no good. Terrorists!
Yeah, literally.
I mean, you got to laugh at the gaslighting, really, haven't you? Like, it's pretty amateur hour. That's the thing. Their psyops are so bad these days. They literally have to just fucking silence us all. It's like, what a bunch of pussies. Imagine being so bad at psyops that you can't even run them well anymore. So you have to just stop people talking. It's like pathetic.
Yeah, right. So it don't look like fucking there's any way out of this, really. I don't think.
I mean, I don't really see how to.
And imagine, they're gonna start doing all this fucking pandemic shit again. Next time people start talking out about anything, even it's gonna get to a state where if you get the ONS data and you say, look, 5-year average, 2,500 all-cause mortality deaths extra each week, they're gonna come and nick you. They're gonna say fucking spreading fear or something. Just like you spoke. It's literally China. You're not allowed to speak against the state, mate.
Well, we said China was the model. We know that for years,
Yeah,
didn't
of
we? China
course.
was the model state for what they're going to impose in the West. In a more collectivist society somewhere in Asia, such as China, where they've been used to like absolutely egregious abuses by, say, the communist government. I mean, China's. You look at their progression; it's pretty mad. China went like mud huts, communists with famines and shit, and great leap forward, and then skyscrapers and technology. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Do you know the worst thing about it is they're just going to plow on. They're just going to plow on, going up and up and up, just outsourcing everything to Africa.
the thing is, mate. Like
They're going to
yeah,
do.
that's it's inevitable, isn't it? Yeah,
They're gonna do what the Freemasons done to them,
yeah.
and they've got us like that. Like the Freemasons had them all on the opium. They've got us all on fucking mate, fentanyl, fucking SSRIs, fucking like all of it, mate. Fake coke, everything. It all comes from there, man. It gets made in Israel, then it gets designed in Israel, and then it gets mass produced in China.
In China, yeah, 100%. All the research camps, when that whole research camp
Yes,
thing was
bro.
going, they're
All
all
in
out of
Israel.
random Chinese labs, mate. All out of random
Yeah,
Chinese,
but they all
Israeli
get
scientists and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, China's the model, isn't it? Really,
Oh yes.
but I mean, yeah, no, I mean, they're good enough at psyops to convince enough people to go. Enough people to go along with this, and the same thing stands as during COVID as well. Like the vast majority of people do live in fear. You know, they live in fear of having their reputation ruined. They live in fear of losing, you know, friends, family, losing their job. You know, people are afraid, and they should be afraid, rightly so, because there's a violent government that will happily use violence to, you know, coerce its people into whatever actions they want. So they should be afraid, but they should use that fear to actually fucking fight against it rather than just lay down and keep taking it. I mean, it comes back down to the old accelerate thing, doesn't it?
Fear, yeah,
So,
but fear is a thing. Like fear takes people out of the game. It makes them what's it called, unable to function. It fucks with
100% paralyzes people.
Yeah, it fucks with executive function capabilities.
Yeah, this is they know that like it's they've been using fear on the population. Even things like Great Boomer News, you know, like that's it. It's like yeah, sure, they're talking about like culture war stuff, like drag queens and dinghies, yeah, but all they're trying to do mostly is just scare old boomers. Limited hangouts.
Scare him into not being able to go to the shops no more because of how many fucking strangers there are around them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I told you, like a Lithuanian man today told me that there were now too many immigrants in this country.
It's off the nut. It's off the fucking head.
Which you know, I thought was amusing. The fact that that so you've got people, like I said, people who come here legally are going to be seething about this because they've had to jump through all these hoops, and these other people can turn up here on the boat. And so, do you reckon the protected characteristic thing and that? Do you reckon you ain't going to be able to talk about the immigration, let's call it crisis?
I don't know, mate. I think I'm gonna have to. I think if that's a real thing, yeah, I'm gonna have to go hard on the what's it called one, on the Ian Drury stance and be like, no, I can say it because I am one. You know what I mean? And then just be like, no, obviously being autistic and obviously all these children that are autistic that ended up being transgender and that, then I feel like I've got to be allowed to talk about that. Do you know what I mean? Because I am protected characteristic in that respect, but everyone else is fucked. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, but some protected characteristics trump other protected characteristics, don't they?
Like, I mean, if you're white and you got protected characteristics, your white privilege fucking outweighs your.
I was thinking this earlier. Yeah, by critical theory doctrine.
Yeah, of course
white
it does.
privilege outweighs other.
It does.
Things
Yeah,
that maybe,
that's what they teach.
Yeah.
That's what they teach.
Yeah, it's just so tiresome, isn't it? Really.
Well, don't you just feel lucky to be white?
White privilege. Well, I'm not white, am I? I'm a Jew, so I'm white when I want to be. So, I mean, relating this sort of stuff to the Rockefeller document, I mean, a lot of people probably seen it, but you might as well fucking whip up the old doc anyway.
It's old school. Can you share something? Because I'm not by the computer. Can you just where I am? I can get the mouse, but I can't fucking see it too clever.
You want me to share something?
Yeah, if you can present your screen, then I can just do that because I'm not actually fucking.
Oh, okay, fair play. Yeah, I'll,
facing the screen.
I'm
off out the door trying to smoke a joint.
Yeah, it's all good.
Blame the BAME. Who said Juden? Does that say Juden? Come on, don't be saying things like that because I've got fucking that scary man following me.
Jim's gonna have the fucking what's it called? Ofcom.
It ain't Ofcom, bro. We seen who it is we seen who it comes round the house, mate. It's fucking CT that comes round the house, mate.
Yeah.
We see that up by your house, bro. No fucking about and Ipswich, mate. He said
yeah.
Later.
Yeah, I mean they literally used counter-terrorism police to stop him doing a protest about migrants being housed in hotels. Like that's terrorism, is it? What?
I would suggest that the terrorism is the use of violence or force to impact your political will, which is exactly what the police done to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%, mate. It's the biggest gaslight of all time, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%, million fucking percent.
1 sec. Let me just figure out.
I mean, I would have finished this joint by then, mate. Oh no, you're sharing it. You are sharing it. Well done.
I am sharing it. I've got my mic here. So this is the Lockstep document. You may remember this one. So this basically, this is the Agenda 21 documents going about like future scenarios.
Well, I've got a theory. This is the point, right? This Lockstep thing. Let me just give a little preamble then, right? Mm-hmm. So the Lockstep thing it's a matrix, and it goes one way or the other way, and they're trying to suggest these are scenarios that may happen. I'm putting forward a thesis that this is what's going to happen in chronological order. Is what I'm saying. Is what I'm thinking. But anyway, yeah.
So this was from May 2010. Yeah. So after you get through the preamble, you get into like the scenarios, right? The Lockstep scenario, I believe,
is everything we just lived through.
And it's everything we just lived through, right? But bear in mind, this was written in 2010, yeah?
It's uncanny. It's fucking uncanny.
The opening for the Lockstep scenario is in 2012, the pandemic that the world had been anticipating for years. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Bring that pandemic. It finally hit. Unlike 2009's H1N1, which really didn't get off the ground, this new influenza strain originating from wild geese was extremely virulent and deadly. Even the most pandemic-prepared nations were quickly overwhelmed when the virus streaked around the world, infecting nearly 20% of the global population and killing 8 million in just 7 months. The majority of them were healthy young adults. The pandemic also had a deadly effect on economies. International mobility of both people and goods screeched to a halt, debilitating industries like tourism and breaking global supply chains. Even locally, normally bustling shops and offices sat empty for months, devoid of both employees and customers. This was written in 2010. Yeah? The pandemic blanketed the planet, though disproportionate numbers died in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Central America, where the virus spread like wildfire.
You got to bear in mind.
Containment protocols.
You got to read this through a lens or a standpoint of these people that are writing this are fucking eugenicists, and you see their wishful thinking as they're writing.
It's not even wishful thinking. It's like, here are our plans. This is what we plan to do.
Well, yeah.
It's like, in retrospect, people, if you just showed this Lockstep document to someone in 2010, and being like, look at this. Yeah. And this is the most mental thing, right? Sorry, I've got to keep going because
Yeah, I know.
United
Read
States
it.
initial policy of strongly discouraging its citizens from flying proved deadly in its leniency, accelerating the spread of the virus, not just within the US, but across borders. However, few countries did fare better, China in particular. The Chinese government's quick imposition and enforcement of mandatory quarantine for all its citizens, as well as an instant and near hermetic sealing off of all its borders, saved millions of lives, stopping the spread of the virus far earlier than other countries, enabling a swifter post-pandemic recovery. Post-pandemic recovery.
Right, so there's a lot of language there. Go on, do you want to read more? There's loads. It's
Well, I mean,
it's
the
uncanny.
thing is,
But the
it's
point
just
is,
like,
no,
yeah.
the point is, the more the further on we get in the document is the point. And my thesis of this actually, if we listen to what they warn about, what they write books about,
Yeah.
I've got good reason to believe, everyone has got good cause and reason to believe that that next bit. Go down to the next scenario.
Okay, I'll just read this one bit. At first, the notion of a more controlled world gained wide acceptance and approval. Citizens willingly gave up some of their sovereignty, and so their sovereignty. And I'm reading like 3 lines ahead. Their sovereignty and their privacy to more paternalistic states in exchange for greater safety and stability. Citizens were more tolerant and even eager for top-down direction and oversight, and national leaders had more latitude to impose order in the ways they saw fit. In developed countries, this heightened oversight took many forms. Biometric IDs for all citizens, for example. Fucking.
Oh man. Yeah, so
It's
anyway,
just-
that's everything we just lived through, and this is what's to come. Like,
bear in mind, like they've got a little like simulated timeline here. So Italy addresses immigrant caregiver gap with robots. It's like, well, that one didn't pan out because they're definitely getting enough immigrants in. Will Africa embrace authoritarian capitalism? Will Africa's embrace of authoritarian capitalism a la China continue?
yes, there's a short answer to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're doing the same thing in Africa as what they did in China, except this time they're using China to buy up the stuff in Africa.
Yes.
The world's biggest shell game.
Mate.
Vietnam to require a solar panel in every home 2022. So obviously you're starting to edge towards the green agenda control shit there. I guess they didn't want to blow their load too early before the pandemic, did they, with this?
But the point is, the more fucking, what's it called? The more scenarios, man. The cyber one is next.
Yeah, what the what's it
Post
called?
a link to the document. Oh, don't do that. That's horrible.
I'm sorry, I'm just tripping out. The link to the document, the PDF. Do you want that?
Yeah, well, someone wanted it in chat.
Oh, in chat. I was putting it in the back chat.
Right, yeah, put it in the back chat, then I'll put it in the chat.
I can't get a link from anywhere. I've got it locally. It's saved locally.
What is this document? What have I got open? The wrong one. You're looking at, I can put.
I'm looking at future scenarios.
Lockstep. I'm gonna post it in the Telegram now. I'm sure it's in there already. I'm sure it should be. In there.
If you ain't seen it, this one's a classic, boys and girls.
That's This we're only revisiting this one just because it's just.
Which one was it you wanted to see? Hack Attack.
Yeah. I think, is it the next one in sequential order? Is it chronological?
No, the next one in sequential is Clever Together.
No, that's the last one. I'm sure that's supposed to be the last one, no?
No, the last one is Smart Scramble.
No, because that's what I thought. Oh, fuck knows. I don't think it is going to be in sequential order then, to be honest with you, but I think this shit is going to happen.
I don't necessarily think it is. I just think these are all elements of things that are happening, basically. And things that they've
you can't fucking say that when the Lockstep bit was like word for word, like it was like verbatim what we just lived through.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it just means that these are things that are happening. That supports my theory. It just I'm not saying that they're not necessarily. I just don't think that. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense. They can't. There's a lot of things they can't control within this document, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I have got this. Sorry, I'm just looking for this thing. This document.
You can bring it up. I'll put good old Wayne back on. Good old Wayne, sorry.
Carl, you're terrible, isn't you?
I apologise. I literally apologise.
is
That's just
that?
fucking horrible. He's a scumbag.
He's a proper fucking cunt, mate.
He's beyond any superlative for scumbag.
Literally. I've got so many documents on this phone.
The years 2010 to 2020 were dubbed the Doom Decade for good reason.
The Doom Decade, mate.
The Doom Decade.
God, why his face is all massive and that. Full screen. And she... I'm having a struggle. Human augmentation. What about that then?
Well, I mean, we've done that one a couple of times, but that is worth covering at certain points just because of how fucking wacky and out there, even at this point, several years.
People want to say Elon Musk's all right, though. That's the point. People want to say Elon Musk is okay. And that's the point.
Well, you know, Daddy Elon Musk's on our side, isn't he? He's going to give us like whooshy tubes that we can go through the city and underground and electric cars. And he's super based because he posts frogs on Twitter.
Ha 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 ha. Don't be fooled by the magic on Twitter, mate.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. Like, I think people who are Musk bros are either unironic transhumanists because you do get them. It's like just go onto YouTube and watch that fucking Spurg Lex Friedman talking to people or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
he's a fucking bub.
He's the biggest glowy I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I hate him
come
so
on.
much. YouTube insists on forcing me his videos. If I ever leave autoplay on, and fall asleep, I guarantee you I wake up to Lex Friedman. I literally I'll lay any money on it, right? The cunt, and I'm like, don't show me this cunt's videos. I tell it not to show me his videos. He literally fucking grates on me so much. Sounds like just such a clear, obvious CIA plan.
What was the name of that document? Future Scenarios?
Yeah, Rockefeller Foundation Future Scenarios. Probably just be better fucking Googling it and just bringing it up on the PDF link on the thing. Then you can scan through it to the point you want.
Yeah, because I'm looking through it on fucking Telegram.
Because at the end, it goes through the critical uncertainties, doesn't it? And it says like, there's like certain things that are like critical uncertainties, and then all this shit in this document is going to go down a different track depending on these sort of pivot points, basically, and how they go between like new technologies with the most impact on development, or existing technologies, for example, and the pivot between. Like new innovations that substantially reduce child infant mortality, brackets, vaccines, treatments, cures. Few or many. So it depends on whether they develop few or many of these as to how it will go along the lines of these scenarios. Global climate change awareness and action. It's like, why was the Rockefeller Foundation pushing climate change stuff back in 2010?
This is what I mean. This has been being pushed since then. No, it's been pushed since before then.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? I remember them talking this shit when I was a kid.
Of course, I remember as well. They used to call it global warming. They used to say that like, X place would be underwater by X time.
All of that, Jazz. All of that.
Yeah, here's the thing, ladies and gents, for climate change, right? Just water, right? When it melts, if you've got ice in a glass and it melts, it doesn't make the water level rise, does it?
Say that again.
If you've got ice in a glass and it melts, it doesn't make the water
level
rise.
No, it doesn't, no.
So there you go, basically. The idea that the polar ice caps are going to melt and make the water levels rise a ton is just fucking ridiculous.
It's the most stupid thing you've ever heard in your life. Like, I did something today that I don't usually do. Yeah, I fucking got into it with someone on fucking Facebook. Sometimes I'll just sit there and I'm on Facebook and I'm watching the videos and that, whatever, watching the food videos. Yeah,
you see a comment.
I just see a comment, but it weren't even on them. It was just some random bod's comment, and someone that I know. I don't know the random bodies, Anyway, I've seen this fucking photograph, yeah, his display picture, his profile picture, and it's a fucking, it's, you know what the vicar was wearing on his tie? It's that fucking thing, yeah? That 100 years.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, I said to him, how did we get out the last ice age and that, yeah? And he's like, huh? I was like, well, I'm asking you, like, I said, I found your thing. Hang on, let me get it out. Let me get it out what I said. Because it was fascinating. I see that when I see that image, it does fascinate me. It's like, what do you think that is? Like, how far do you think history goes back? Why are you fucking got such a little bit of time frame on a fucking?
Mate, most of this relies on people having a very short time frame. It's like the COVID thing, where it instantly disappeared as soon as they needed, like the war to be taken. Note of. People just have an extreme, and then now people go around like completely forgetting that they were talking about like fucking killing the unvaccinated and stuff. So they never forget what they wanted to do to us.
I can't even see this fucking conversation I've had now. Anyway.
Oh, by the way, right. So, this was one little thing I wanted to go through on here because there was another bit that I kept to the side. This was to do with the online safety bill, right? So this was kind of a key thing about it. It's like, oh, they've got a fact sheet, guys, to do with protections for journalism, enhanced protections. So they believe that in recognition to protect the invaluable role of a free press in our society and democracy, the government has made a number of amendments to the online safety bill in relation to content published by a recognised, take note of that word, news publisher, right? So they're going to let recognised news publishers publish news. I think they've aimed this bit specifically at people like you, Jim. The news publishers' content will be exempted from platforms' new online safety duties. Tech companies will be under no obligation to apply their new safety duties to it. Right?
What?
That is, I mean, that's fairly clear, isn't it? Like, that on first, news publishers' content will be exempted from the new online safety duties.
How long for?
But they're exempt.
What for? So they don't
for the bill. So the bill, the scope of all that stuff in the bill, that doesn't count but so there's a couple of bits to this, yeah. There's criterias, right? So you have to have a UK broadcasting license or meet the other objective criteria set out in section 50 of the bill. Only companies that can be held legally liable for the content they publish will be able to benefit from the protection. So independent news media is done, boys. Independent news media is done. No more auditing, no more people going to places and filming things and putting up videos and that. It's done. Yeah. Only Sky News can go there now. Only the BBC can go there now. And also, to reduce the risk of bad faith actors benefiting from the protections, the definition explicitly excludes any entity which is a prescribed organisation under the Terrorism Act 2000. Funny how the Terrorism Act came in 2000, a year before the September 11th attacks, isn't it? Like, wild, that.
It was waiting for something to happen, if you remember.
Or any entity whose purpose is to support a prescribed organisation under that act, yeah? So you turn up at a drag queen story protest. Oh, the glowies are here. PA turn up, yeah? You get fucking nicked for filming the thing because you're supporting a prescribed terrorist organisation, even if you've jumped through their hoops to try and get yourself set out as a protected
but all
publisher.
it's saying, all I'm hearing you say is, if you get limited and you get a fucking license,
if you got a press card and that, like, then you can keep rocking and rolling and doing what you want to do. Yeah, it ain't as easy as that. You're either going to have to get a broadcasting license, which I assume would be prohibitively expensive, yeah, or you would have to meet the other objective criteria set out in section 50 of the bill. So if you cross-reference that against the bill, so many fucking tabs open across two browsers. Here we go, online safety bill. What section did I say? Section 70?
50.
Fucking so many sections. Is there some bit I can...
You need to get the license from Ofcom.
Yeah, this is what I mean about like there's going to be some real fucking
You
look
can't get a
in this
license
part.
off
Recognised
Ofcom.
news publisher means any of the following entities: British Broadcasting Corporation. They can spread as much fucking online harm as they want.
That's mental. They've just exempted themselves and said everyone else is fucked. We're so dumb, boys.
Oh, mate. When we said they were coming for us, we weren't joking. We're still not joking, ladies and gents. They're going to come
Well, it
for
was
all
fun
of us
anyway,
bit by
wasn't
bit.
it? It was fun. Do you know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah. It was a good old laugh while it lasted.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, my days. So, yeah, basically, so if you want to be one of these entities anyway, you've got to have a principal purpose of the publication of news-related material and is subject to editorial control, publishes such material in the course of a business, whether or not carried on with a view to profit, is subject to a standards code, has policies and procedures for handling and resolving complaints, has a registered office or other business address in the United Kingdom. So I'm going to have to turn Spurg Media into a limited company, aren't I? SpurgMedia.com is going to have to go limited.
I did say that. You're going to have to limited. I did say
No,
that.
I bet it costs so much money to jump through all their hoops to fucking, do you know what I mean? To be able to be compliant.
Yeah,
And
but
this is the
even
problem, you don't
then,
wanna jump through their hoops, man.
even then, that's what I'm saying. Even then,
You
to
just
get
say to them, I don't speak legalese, blood. You just do a 360 and just fucking walk out of court.
just fucking say I'm not a legal fiction, but
Say, I do not operate under maritime law.
That's what fucking
I
Brian
do not
Harvey.
consent.
Brian Harvey was shouting that shit, mate. He was going off his head this morning or yesterday. That's fucking funny.
Based non-maritime law recognising Brian Harvey.
Funny cunt, mate. That phone hacking scandal really done his nothing, mate.
They probably glowies all over the back of him for years, haven't they? They probably slowly setsunging him into insanity.
Zetsung the life out of him, haven't they?
No, they blatantly have, mate. They blatantly have. That's what happens when the security intelligence services hound you for fucking decades. That is literally Brian Harvey's like fucking key case of that, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, if he was more about it and that, I don't think they would have gone after him so hard.
Maybe, yeah. They do create extensive profiles on people, and they know what to target to fuck with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
that's what you got, boys. It's good looking forward to that, innit, eh? That's fucking. That's what you come on stream for, boys, to listen to fucking Wayne Cousins tell you that the internet's finished.
The internet is done.
The internet is curtains. It's curtains. Curtains pulled, mate.
This band says we need you content creators to publish compelling fictional stories. It's like I admire the creativity.
Yeah. No,
however,
hang on.
I was going to go down this line. However, again, the wide-ranging nature of the bill and the fact that they're happy to misapply these laws if it benefits them means that you can have all your content removed, get silence, whatever, and they'll just keep shutting you down and fucking with you until the point. And the point where they eventually down the line years go, oh, fucking, yeah, well, I guess we weren't supposed to interpret the law in that fashion, sorry. And then still objective achieved, you know. Like, so they're like, they bring you in, you go back and forth, you have to go to court to justify.
Hang on. Where does this leave live gigs?
What do you mean live gigs? I mean, live gigs I don't think will be covered by the scope of the Act.
Yeah, it's
unless
fucking, it's old. It's just.
Do you know what I was going to suggest recently? Yeah, like that we just basically try and package as much information about what's happening, into some sort of presentation, and then literally go on some sort of fucking tour around the UK doing the presentation and trying to like fucking let people know what's going on, because that's going to be one of the only ways that we're going to have left of doing it.
Yeah, literally, we're gonna have to go on like them old what's it called? Them old fucking
Jim on tour. Who's gonna get tickets for that?
Grifters, mate. Though that's what the old grifters turn into, isn't it?
It's fucking £15 a ticket. Jim might give you a toke on his joint out the back.
Fuck off. Yeah.
He won't give you a toke. He won't give you a toke on the joint, but that bit's rescinded.
No, but honestly, boys, we're gonna have to start meeting up local and that, mate, and fucking doing gigs and shit, mate. Just
Just
talking
went
to
up
each
at
other.
watch list level.
Yeah.
They're organising. They're organising.
Oh.
DEFCON 2.
Well, it sounds like it's the future, boys. It sounds like we're going back to the past. It sounds like we're going like we're fucking. Do you know what I mean? Like we've been expelled from the internet, boys. So we're gonna have to go and hang out in like seedy back rooms and that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think if they start getting too trigger happy with this sort of thing, it is going to piss a lot of people off. Because I remember what really pushed me into, I guess you'd call it
Well, think,
activism, was being banned and silenced every single where that I tried to talk about COVID early on.
but you
So
think
like that made me just go fucking ham on trying to get like talk about shit everywhere.
this that they're talking about the prince of the country and that, yeah, the prince of the fucking of the England and the empire and all that. He's fucking deputy head teachers and nonce doing noncy shit, paying for fucking teenage Indian kids to fuck with like underage, well,
I think I
younger
saw
Indian
something
kids.
about that. Yeah,
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's a reason for that. There's a reason you saw that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like this shit's they're doing all this shit on purpose, and then it's gonna be like, oh, whereas I don't know, the internet is fucked, mate. It's finished.
This is fucked. It's done a number on everyone, hasn't it? Really, when
It
you
was
think about
supposed to
it's
free
like,
everyone, and then fucking like it's just shit on everyone, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, did you like that? Well,
yeah,
now
it was good for a couple of years. Like fucking, like you said, enjoy it while it lasts. That's become the way. If anything's good, enjoyable, brings any benefit to people, or gives anyone agency or ability to try and step outside the system in any way, then they will shut it down ruthlessly, subvert it, shut it down, fuck it up.
I think there's truth in what you're saying as well. Like, if they do come down on everyone, no one can do nothing on the internet no more. They do try and set up something. They do start talking at a venue, go to venues and that. Then, like
Yeah.
you're saying, you are then going to be on. They're going to terrorist you off, mate.
100%, because you'll be spreading ideas that are banned online, and they're
Yes, exactly.
Like, to that point, you get to a stage of information control where I don't know. I think it's very tenuous. I think it becomes more tenuous trying to control it when you're trying to exert that level of control over what people are saying. I think it makes it fucking easier for shit to start falling apart.
You think people just get that much of the arse and be like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, I think so. Because think about all the people that come out during COVID that never ever would have come out to protests and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's a massive imposition, but it's like, people say, what's the first thing people say? Say, well, if you're not doing nothing wrong, you got nothing to worry about. It's
well,
like,
I mean, that's been proved to be bullshit through the whole, like them not even wanting to give out like their documents from during COVID.
No, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about to what degree, to what extent is this legislation going to affect the normie? Like, how fucking edgy, how edgy is the normie, mate, when they are trying to have a laugh or the rest of it? Do you know what I mean? Like, before people...
True, yeah, true. I mean, I think it depends. It depends what the fucking telly box tells them, doesn't it? Really, it depends. It depends on how much they get allowed to know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think COVID was different because it had really direct effects. Having the lockdown had really fucking effects on, tangible, immediate effects on people's life. They could see what was going on.
Yes.
They were stopped from doing things that they wanted to do. They had to fucking watch like their loved ones die alone while they couldn't fucking visit them and things like that. So people were rightly pissed off, and that was enough to spur people into action. Is it gonna? I don't think people are gonna take to the streets over not being able to fucking share a spicy meme on Twitter. I don't think people are going to take to the streets.
I think they're going to kill the internet. That's going to kill the internet. That is going to kill user facing interaction time.
But that's the intention, isn't it? I suppose.
No, because they want people on the internet.
No. They want people on the internet. They're part of the internet. They want
Yeah,
people
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
their
But
little controlled section of the World
even
Wide Web that
even
they have
even
control
on
over.
that even on that sanitized shit area of the internet, like you still get stuff. Like it still comes through. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be none of that.
It does, and there will be none of that. You're completely correct. Like, despite their best efforts to sanitize the internet, people can be quite fucking subversive with the way that they post stuff and joke about
Exactly.
stuff sometimes, can't they?
It's grotesque.
Victoria's saying Tor will explode. Like, obviously, Tor was created by the US Navy. So there's like inherent fucking
Backdoor situations going on there.
backdoor concerns. Yeah, backdoor concerns with that one. But I do think that alternative methods of using internet technology is going to grow, because I mean, you know, people still want to. People do now. People have always done it. People will find covert and secretive ways to share information.
Well, was it? Hang on. So I'm trying to understand something, right? Because it says about protesting. What does it say? What does it say about
which doc?
the fucking online harms bill? Yeah. So,
right.
am I still? I'm just trying to think if I've still got a job. Am I still able to sit outside of the House of Commons with my camera and my gear and my microphone and jump on the MPs when I see them?
I don't see any reason why not, as long as you don't ask them about anything that's considered to be naughty, not allowed to say underneath the terms of this act, which is quite fucking wide ranging.
Yeah, well, I mean, with a bit of time to consider things, you can be quite. You know what I mean? You can get to things without having to break the rules and that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like this, basically, the way it's going to work is because the service providers have got to make the judgment, as to whether the content on their service is illegal and whether it should be removed or not. Do you think they're going to take a chance to let little old Jim say something a bit spicy, or do you think they're just going to fucking show it you straight away, every single time?
Yeah, no, you ain't wrong.
Do you know what I mean? If it's down to them, YouTube and that, well, they've been.
So when's this going to come into
had 10
force?
strikes in a year. Do you know what I mean?
She's had 10 strikes in a year.
Yeah, she's a goer, mate. She fucking goes for it. She's the number one striker in town. 10 strikes.
How
in
you
a
can't
year.
have 10 strikes in a year and still have your channel?
No, I think she's appealed them, so she's had 10, including warnings and that. I think.
But you still can't get that many, bro, and still have a channel, man.
That's what she was claiming.
Nah, the maths don't add up, mate.
The maths, it's a conspiracy, bro.
Well,
let's get Sid on. Ask her about how many strikes she's had.
So you're making me go schizo, mate. What are you on about? It's all fucking.
No, she may have been using high poppy, but she has had a lot of strikes. A lot of people have had a lot of strikes, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? Fucking local experimentalist somehow managed to go streaming protests for like 3 odd years before he got a strike.
That was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, what a fucking run. I swear he must have had the longest run without getting a strike out of anyone.
Oh, mate, if you want a broadcast license, you got to jump through Ofcom's fucking hoops, mate. That's not good.
That's what I was saying. The hoops that they jump through are just going to be onerous and expensive and incredibly difficult to get unless you're a big funded media company with an ESG score that wants to promote the current groom.
This is what I mean. We're so far down the fucking thing, mate. Like we are though, aren't we?
Yeah, it's fucking tragic, really, that like we ever let it get to this stage. They well and truly boiled the frog on this one, I'd say.
They got everyone too busy doing fucking other shit.
Yeah, Correct Not Political is going to become a doorstep show now. It's basically going to be travelling around area to area, knocking on your door. Talking to you about chemtrails. Hello, do you have a moment to talk about chemtrails?
Right. They fuck the internet, mate. They proper fuck the internet.
Yeah, big time. So, right, solutions then at this stage, like, it's like, okay, we've realised they fucked the internet. So, new style of big issue, yeah. Ian. Just get tramps selling fucking Correct Not Political magazine up and down the country. No, yeah, at this stage, you've got to start thinking of solutions, haven't you? Disband the BBC. He's talking about this pirate box thing, a wireless router set up as a digital drop box. He seems a fairly clued up guy on the old tech. He's talking about ad hoc mesh networks. So yeah, mesh networks and decentralization.
Yeah, no, but that doesn't matter.
Decentralization,
That
don't you, mate?
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. If you're shit, if you're operating from within the law for the country, yeah, if you're doing all that shit and it's still getting to people.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you just got to basically do it illegally and keep it obscured. So you've got two options. You either fight it through legal channels in their system, using their systems to against them, or you just go full on fucking, pirate radio, go full Radio Caroline and just fucking Sam Tripoli's a fucking idiot, mate. Sam Tripoli's a fucking moron. I can't listen to his fucking podcast because he's such a fucking cokehead, like 2 IQ fucking brain cell retard.
Fuck Sam Tripoli.
Fucking yeah. I mean, oh yeah. Speaking, they're talking about people in the sub. Did you want to show that leaked video? There was a leaked video from the one that's the CEO that was trapped down in the sub.
Where is it?
It's just in our Telegram chat. This is pretty exclusive content, guys. I don't know if you will have seen this yet.
Yeah.
So this was just released. They managed to collect a transponder from the submarine. And they found this video on it.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. You're too much.
Oh, mate, it's not that. Did you enjoy that?
How are you? I am under the water. Please help me. You're too much raining.
Oh, man. Fuck's sake.
Sorry, chat.
There you go. Shit, man. Yeah, we got to have something to lighten the mood after all.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I mean, come on. What are we going to do? Send thoughts and prayers? Jesus Christ.
Well, come on. You don't need to start doing all that, mate.
Well, no. I mean, the thing is, it's like, that's just bullshit virtue signaling, isn't it? It's obvious. It's like a bunch of people died in a submarine. Like, the only people cheering that and saying it's a good thing are like the most demented socialists who are cheering because of the fact that these people were rich. Like,
no, I weren't giving. Listen. I weren't worrying about the fucking honor of some millionaire cunt. I was on about billionaire.
Ofcom.
No, I was on about fucking using the Lord's name in vain, mate.
Oh, I apologise.
No, you're right.
I apologise, God.
Well, you're not. It's just
I just don't believe he cares about that. I do not believe he cares about that.
Bruv, it's written down in stone like one of the first rules, mate.
Who was it written by?
Moses.
Moses literally wrote that. And you
on
have
the
tablet he wrote it.
On the tablet.
You have the exact tablet. May I see it?
No, because it broke. No, it broke. It broke.
Excuses. Moses is just like mystic.
No,
it's you can't see the tablet because it broke. I got some Jews to write it down, though. They wrote down exactly what I said. I guarantee
before the Jews. That's before the Jews. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Like, the submarine thing hit the news big. Do you reckon it was a big old psyop just to take attention off of something else?
Did you see that I sent you? Did you see the thing, though, about the...
no, what was he saying? I fucking can't even remember because I was watching.
He was saying the fella was from the WEF, mate.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I heard someone else say that the guy, one of the rich people, one of them had got rights to reclaim any treasure that was found and stuff. They bought like the treasure, what's it called, salvage rights for the Titanic area.
Fuck off.
That's what. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. That's just rumor.
Well,
Because when I first saw it, I was like, why the fuck would you get in that thing and go down there? It's
I-
like they
I
blatantly
see,
sent someone down
listen.
there to die, didn't they?
I see. Well, this is the thing. I see another couple of videos that was mental from TikTok. Yeah, some fucking LGBTQ plus fucking deranged nutter saying
Yeah.
about how she's working for this firm, this gate firm, the one that make the submarine, run the
Yeah, yeah.
submarine and that. And then she's like talking about how she could cry. Like, I don't know. She's like hates capitalism, obviously, but she's got this job, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's got this other video about dragging her mate to the drag, like a straight mate to the fucking drag queen story or whatever the fuck. And like, it's obviously a just raving fucking nutter. I don't know. And then they're saying they killed. No. Imagine if it was someone from the West, though. That'd be fucking out there, mate. What would that mean? Dead. I don't know if that would be a real thing then.
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to see some sort of fucking some proofs. But yeah, Fur Q, he says the sub thing's sus, right? Time just right with an illegal boat sinking, almost like it's a gauge of public opinion on who's more tragic. Sentiment analysis, very well could be mass sentiment analysis psyop just to try and fucking. Gauge
Oh, is that
public
real
opinion.
then? Did the boat go over or something then in Italy or something?
I don't know, but I thought it happened all the time. I thought, according to them, it was super dangerous and it happened every day.
I don't
Why is it
know.
news?
Yeah,
If
do
it
you know
happens
what I
all
mean?
the time.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, if the news is choosing to show you something, you think, well, they exist solely to psyop the population. There
Exactly.
is an agenda and a reason from showing us this. Why are they
Yes.
showing us this?
Yes. I reckon it is that. I reckon it's more cultural war nonsense.
Cool. Brady Vibe mentions Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell had all that, and Epstein had all that shit to do with submarines, didn't they? Terramar. Terramar was that company they had, wasn't it? To do undersea exploration and shit like that.
Nonsense.
I don't know if you remember all that shit. Non-submarines, mate. 2023, the year of the non-submarine. Yeah, Terra Mar, that was it. Terra meaning land, Mar meaning sea. The Xbox controller. Yeah, it's fucking the Xbox controller's getting a lot of hate in that scenario.
Oh, have you seen that meme, maybe? Oh, it's fucking terrible.
There's a lot of memes. Yeah, I mean, realistically, like, if I'm going down in a submarine, I want a better control system than a Nintendo Wii tennis racket. They should have mad cats.
This was a proper depressing stream, mate. I feel all fucking like I've had the wind fucking knocked out.
Well, because it's like a business meeting where you've just been told that your business is being phased out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, it'd be just top content, wouldn't it? Like, Jim's live streaming is a rest. We could stream from the Gulag if they've got the 5G at the Gulag.
If we stay out Nick, I'm saying it's an achievement.
Well, yeah, I mean, we better just stop having the wrong thoughts, better we?
We're product of my environment, mate.
Fucking lefty. Like, if they would have just put up more ping pong tables, I wouldn't have gone out stealing bikes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Like, we've seen, and again, like, Mizzy ties into the whole push UK laws a week, etc. As we discussed before about, like, some guy's going out causing chaos and then going on Piers Morgan and saying UK laws are weak and we need tougher laws. Oh, well, good thing, because the government are right on that, boys.
You know what I mean? It's little. Anyone sees that little twat, mate? You fucking mate. You tell him from me, yeah. If I see him, I'll fucking look. You know how the Lord works, boys. I'm out on Saturday as well, by the way. So fucking let's hope we bump into that little twat. I might go out Oxford Street Saturday, open to bump into that little twat and say, "You little cunt, do you understand what you're up to and what you're doing? Like, are you like really a 30-year-old agent?" basically. Like, I just go and eye him up, see if I think, you know what I mean.
Oh mate, Jim versus Mizzy would be like the link up of the century, wouldn't it?
Who?
Jim versus Mizzy.
Right. Patrick was messaging him. I should have let him fucking gas him up.
Messaging, fucking mental case.
You know what he's like. He's always after a bum, mate.
He sent that thing. He sent me something. He's like Rebecca Black playing live at Hyde Park or whatever.
He sent me that as well. This is
Fucking
what I
mental
mean.
case.
He's absolute bunder. He's an absolute bunder, mate. What the fuck
funny,
was
mate.
that?
It's pure memes. I thought it was quite funny, but
Is that him? No. Right, what we're doing then? We're gonna fucking.
well,
Cool.
like it might have been depressing for some of us, but Leanne found it informative AF. So we're glad to have been informative for you, Leanne.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad someone got something from it then.
Yeah, that's good. You know, like, and if she goes out and tells some other people about this sort of stuff, then this is how this whole thing works. It's all to do with network effect. Yeah, the people who are abusing us every single day understand this. Like, we just need to harness that network effect to our own benefit.
All right. Yeah. There you go.
So we end on a good note. There we go. We're all happy now.
Good note. We have the power. Tom says we have the power. The people. Says,
We do. We really do. People just need to realize.
I know. Do you know what? Saying that, I see something the other day. There's this geezer making these videos about BlackRock and Vanguard and the rest of it, all the asset firms and that. And he's saying, look, I've been looking at the numbers and that. He says, this look, they only account for like fucking a third of the market in that. He reckons that we're the rest of the, well, not we, but everyone else that fucks around. But even that, all that stocks and shares is all bollocks anyway. So I wouldn't advocate for any of that.
Yeah, I mean, if the whole entire derivatives market disappeared tomorrow, the world would probably be in a considerably better state without a bunch of leeches just sucking off like a fucking little layer of the cream every fucking time a bit of money gets passed around.
It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you think like the price of corn is not controlled at all by the free market. If people want to say we've got a free market, that's just complete and utter nonsense. We don't have anything approaching a free market.
Of course not.
So the good price of corn is controlled by subsidies and derivatives markets.
Well, we need to get out. I think this fucking. We need to get out of this fictional maritime law situation like Brian Harvey.
Well, we really do. I think a lot of it comes back to basically the principles of anarchism, really, and whether people think it's okay to use violence, usually, violence on behalf of the state, to control other people. That's basically what it comes down to, doesn't it? And it's like resistance is not violent. Violence is the act of violence is the act of violation, to violate another person. Yeah. The government constantly violate us. How do we perform acts of violence towards the government?
Like, you can't
we don't.
You're living in you're not allowed to. Yeah, but you're not allowed. You're not allowed to resist or self-defend yourself.
Exactly.
Even if the nice fucking man who's come off the boat tries to rape your fucking little girl, like, you're gonna end up being called. Look, we've seen it happen in fucking.
The Nottingham thing, man. What about that? I mean, like, is that like just are we beyond everything? Like,
did we read the Middle Eastern Eye article like the day before, the day that happened or something? It was just weird. That was weird how that all came about. Fucking Nottingham thing, and then they're all talking exactly how that article says, like the training, the MI5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, is it normal or natural, like, for someone whose son or daughter's just been stabbed to then stand up and give a press conference saying, "Oh, don't hate the stabbers"?
No, it's not.
Like,
no, that's not normal.
Planet is that fucking anywhere approaching?
No.
Normal,
and you see the way them strangers are all consoling each other, all fucking cuddling each other and that, like fucking. I don't believe that's real. Sorry,
No,
this is what I mean.
yeah.
This is why we're all going to get nicked, mate. Because we just sit here, we have conversations, we make statements like that, and
Yeah.
it's finished. It's curtains, mate. That's what the internet's. That's how fucked the internet is now. We won't be able to say things like that.
But how pathologically disturbed is it that they literally can't handle people having conversations? Like, can you imagine a person like that in a room with you?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what the LGBT lot are like. That's what the fucking. No, that's what all the left are like. That's what all the left are like.
It's the same. It all comes from basically Marxism, really, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like it's the same neo-Marxist kind of perspective and the same postmodern kind of thinking, like postmodernist ideas that always lead to the same fucking place, really. Legalized nonsense.
Basically, that's what
legalized nonsense and total control.
The emancipation of the fucking children, mate, from the parents, the sexual liberation of the children, mate. Dirty fuckers, man.
Yeah, I mean, the sad thing is now that's
the sad thing is that you live in a world where that school of thought was ever able to fully develop into what it is to be espoused by people in academia across the fucking world. That's the sad thing.
And then teachers in a state school will bully your children if they don't parrot
literally
these lines.
Literally, and call them names and berate them and make them feel like that their behavior is unacceptable and unvirtuous, while the whole time they're trying to legalize and sanitize noncery, mate.
I would have loved to have seen that teacher's face when they found out that the kids recorded it.
More kids mate, she's heard it now. You know, she's heard.
More kids
100%.
100%. This is the thing. Again, we should promote this. Kids, fucking, if you've got kids, if you are a kid, you shouldn't be listening to this. But if you've got kids, fucking, you know, get them to record stuff. If they see anything going on at school, anything that they think is shady or dodgy or whatever, we need to take care of our own safeguarding here, boys, because they are not safeguarding our children. They are not safeguarding our children. Like Jim found that out when he called up some groomers that were going to go and talk at your son's school, weren't it?
Oh yeah.
And he found out they didn't have a fucking clue about any sort of safeguarding. Really, like there's no oversight at all. So if you want to safeguard your kids, get them recording shit.
No, but this is the thing. This is the thing. You got to bear in mind this online harm shit as well, because it's all relevant, right? Now they're in schools. They're talking to children about conspiracy nutters. Like since when PSHE come about, it's always been a bad thing. I didn't really know why, but let me tell you, PSHE is a bad thing because they're in there trying to indoctrinate your kids into a socially acceptable fucking little oik, mate. They want a socially accept, and that's what it comes down to. This PSHE shit. They're in there talking to them about bigoted behavior and how it's awful and what bigoted behavior is and fucking what conspiracy. Like, who are they to say what's a conspiracy and what ain't? It's just the same shit. And it's just going to be BBC headlines, mate. You know what it's like.
Tangent. Well, leading on from that is the fact that obviously it will make it harder for any recordings that videos if like the kids did make in schools, make it extremely hard for them to share it on any platforms.
Exactly. And the news ain't going to pick it up, are they? They only pick it up now because it's mental. It goes viral on Twitter and everywhere else.
Yeah, and so they have to run interference, run cover stories, manage perceptions. Perception management is a massive part of what these people do.
It's all that these people do. That's what the
that's not all they
about.
do. They do perception management, but they also do a lot of other fucking crazy shit. Like there's a lot of wild shit. We've got other streams for all that though.
Oh mate, don't start all that fucking.
No phones in schools, child safety. Next rule, says Tic Tac. Yeah, I mean to be fair, like they already say they're not supposed to use their phones in schools, but that doesn't prevent your kids from having a very small concealable recording device that you give them to take to school.
Listen, talking about schools and child safety. What about them fucking American style lockdowns they're doing in schools and shit now, bruv? You tell me.
Lockdown drills. Who was talking about that?
Did you see about that?
Yeah, I saw about it. I've seen about it in a couple of places. I can't remember where I saw it now though.
Some schools don't allow schools.
Someone posted about like she probably meant phones, but someone was posting about about that, weren't they? About how their kid had come home from school and they'd had to do a terrorism drill or whatever.
Yeah.
So we fucking.
I shared
When
that.
was
I'm
the
sure I
last time
shared-
we had a
I shared
terrorist
that.
attack in a UK school?
That's what I was saying. Like, what are they up to, mate?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't bode well, does it? You know.
I want to know what these fucking these police officers and the rest of it that shit that move these fucking billionaires about and that, like, what do they think goes through their heads? Because it's people people would want to moan about Cousins' face being on there, but the thing is, it's actually fitting because he was the what's it called, the special one that dealt with them sorts of people. Do you know what I mean? Moving these bureaucrats about and that. Now these are the sorts of people. There you go. I was trying to get in the other one. There's one in my face. Weird how the Lord works. Fucking nonsense, mate. Right, I'm gonna fucking turn the stream off anyway.
Cool. Have a
Thanks
good
for
one, chat.
helping. Thanks for helping us out. Well, thanks for going through it all, Alex. Basically,
My pleasure, mate. My pleasure. I always like to wind up the state so these sets sung me harder.
I mean, I might fucking cut some clips out of it and start see if we can get the message out there a bit more.
Yeah, why not? I can always dump some stuff on spurgmedia.com. Check out spurgmedia.com.
There
There's
you
not
go.
much on it yet, but it is going to turn into something. And then I'll get prosecuted for it.
Remember, you're just enjoying it whilst it lasts.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy it while it lasts, like everything.
Oh.
Right, cheers, chat. Have a good one, ladies and gents.
Sweet boys and girls, thanks for tuning in. I hope it helped. Mate.